Hi, how's everybody doing tonight? I had some technical difficulties going on here after starting late. For some reason, am existing only in this little frame right here. And I don't know why. It's something going on with my output setting. I don't know. This has never happened before. So this weird framing that's going on right now is not intentional. So welcome to Hello WhirlyBall Nation, a live streamed Zoom call of National WhirlyBall Players from across the country. We chime in every week, check in on each other, see what's going on. But yeah. Because this technical difficulty is annoying me, I'm skipping my WhirlyBall weekly segment that I had planned for doing for this evening. It makes me mad just because, I don't know, this framing looks weird. See, if I pull up my graphics, it's not gonna work. You don't see like the whole thing. I have no idea. Well, anyway, let's get into this Zoom room. See what's going on with everybody. I have to unmute myself. Hello, everybody. Nope. How's everybody doing?
Spectacular. How are you, sir?
Well, trying to figure out a weird glitch that's going on that has me pretty baffled. Basically, I'm displaying... God, this is so weird. My display, God, this is pissing me off. My display for the live stream is like, I don't know, a quarter of my screen. I'm not exactly sure why that's going on. Yeah, that's really weird.
Maybe it's an update or something.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm like. I don't know. I'll have to update all my stuff, but it's like I can't right now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in it, and we're already like an hour late, so what the heck? What's going on?
You just started?
Yeah, I just started.
Oh.
But so I saw you guys were playing the other night there.
Yeah. So Monday. Well, it's funny. I think it was I think it was Saturday or maybe it was Sunday. Actually, Sunday. A bunch of us were messaging each other because Washington, or at least I believe King County and I think Snohomish County opened up for 25% capacity for recreational businesses. And so we were discussing like, oh, hey, who wants to get together and play some WhirlyBall tomorrow? And a good number of us had decided to do it. And so then I texted Brad and asked him like, hey, is it possible? And he wasn't sure because he wasn't, he said he wasn't, sure because of the state of the cars. He wasn't sure how they'd be in the courts because obviously that hadn't been a while. But come to find out later that Monday afternoon, he texted me and a bunch of other people said, hey, the cars and courts look great. Let's do this thing. So we played 3 games. The first game was 4-on-4, and the last 2 games were some 5-on-5.
Right on. Yeah, I watched a bit. I was like half asleep, but I was watching a little bit.
Yeah, it was funny, like at the end of the last game I came out and my phone was dead. I was like, what the hell? And sure enough, it was at 0%. And I was like, man, that live streaming on your cell definitely does a toll on your battery life. So, but I think we got a good majority, a good portion of the game. So it's all good.
Right on.
Not bad for not. I didn't even plan on live streaming it, but Brad was like, hey, you want to live stream the game? I was like, well, I didn't bring a stand or anything. And I was like, you know what? I'll just prop it up against this box of gloves and see, how that pans out. But I rewatched some of the footage, and it looked to be a decent angle. Saw that you guys played on Sunday.
It was good to be back on the court.
Yeah, how was that overall?
It was pretty good. We had a good time.
Good turnout?
Yeah, I'd say. We had Doug, Clint, Sammy, Tommy, couple old timers show up. Billy Taggart. I actually never met him before.
Yeah. Oh, Billy was there.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then who else? Well, Bill.
I saw Josh was there.
Yeah. And I didn't know him either.
Yeah.
And then
anybody recognize the virtual background? Let me get out of it.
Vegas WhirlyBall.
None of
It's
us.
Obsession, Las Vegas WhirlyBall. That's from like 1990, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a relic.
Oh, Alex wasn't even born then.
That's not true. 87, get it right. I was 3.
Okay.
Now you got to realize, last week I wasn't the youngest one on the call. Okay, Bolty and Allie are younger than me.
That's right.
Well, I graduated high school in '85.
Oh, jeez.
I started playing WhirlyBall in '87. 87 or 88.
I graduated high school in '87.
The first time I played was in '87. Late '87, like November, December. And it came back the next spring. It was pretty cool.
how many goals did you make your first time, Dave?
Oh, I don't think I made any my first game. But I was hooked. After the first time, after the first league night, it was the weirdest thing driving my car home. Anybody ever remember that? After being in the cars the very first time trying to drive home?
I don't think. Yeah, I can't remember if I was driving or not. I don't think I was, but I could see how that would be a very unusual experience.
I remember that. I remember that from the very first night. It felt odd driving home. Wanting to steer backwards and everything.
The other day on my drive into work, I grabbed the bottom of my steering wheel and I imagined myself ramming the cars next to me.
Looser. Stop.
But yeah, Steve, I half expected you to fly out, show up on Sunday.
I honestly thought about it, but just with work and stuff, and we have a policy, that's aligns with the state, health department, that says if you go out of state, the expectation is you do it for essential travel. And if you do essential travel, once you get back, you have to quarantine for 14 days. And I already missed 2 weeks from potential COVID exposure, so I wasn't about to take another 2 weeks off of work. And there's been some people who are like, oh, well, just don't tell your work that you're going out of town, just take PTO and stuff. And I'm like, I could do that, but, if I'd feel really shitty if, it ended up that I actually got back to work and I actually had the virus and started spreading it. So, but yeah, like I said, it would have been awesome to come out and see the gang. And I even, Bill and George were there. And,
yeah, that was kind of weird seeing them. Like, it was like this weird, like, it was like, hey, you're really here. You're not like digital.
Yeah. No.
And then that was it. It was like, yeah, it's like old times. And then I was like, man, I thought it would be like some big epic thing, but no, it was like, hey, it's you, it's me, we're here.
And George being the half the man that he used to be.
Oh yeah, man, he's tiny. Oh, it's weird.
Be able to push him around really good now, guys.
Right. He was playing pretty good too. Maybe it gave him a little bit more court confidence. Who knows?
No, but it's definitely a good sight to see everybody who hasn't been playing or playing, quite infrequently, to be getting back in, the cars and just playing the game again. Obviously the people have been, asking what if about nationals and invite and stuff, but all that, of course, is secondary. Just being able to get back to the center and play, and even more important, the businesses themselves, just being open and being able to thrive and make a living and be able to support themselves. That's even more important. So it's good that they're able to do that.
I had a fun little customer service moment that actually I had to say afterwards to the workers, the employees there. I said, man, I'm just happy to be here pretending to be an employee again. I was telling customers how to find the extra restrooms in the lounge. I was like, yeah, if that one's ever occupied, you just go through the lounge right after the exit sign there. There'll be some restrooms.
How long have they been open, Gus?
Not that long. I don't know exactly what day they reopened. We just had restaurants and movie theaters and everything are opening this week for indoor.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, are they doing like 25% capacity or anything?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's the industry standard right now.
Yeah, man. What the heck?
Probably be like that for a little while.
Well, it's funny. I brought up the fact that 25% capacity is somewhat relative depending upon the business you're talking about. Because, I mean, let's say you have a building that has, 100 people is 25% capacity, right? that's still a lot of people, congregating together in a place. I mean, I'm sure that there's something I'm missing in terms of each state allowing, only a certain amount of people total, regardless of the capacity. I don't know, but it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what WhirlyBall's capacity is, and if that's the same kind of restrictions we have come June. Like, what is that? What will the number crunch look like?
Yeah, well, I'm sure it depends upon each center. I mean, your guys' capacity is 25% capacity is definitely a lot more people than Seattle's, center's 25% capacity.
For sure.
Yeah, your guys' 25 is probably like maybe our 75 or 80 or something. Noah actually was at the center on Monday, and he played, and so I was able to actually talk to him and tell him in person, like, hey, we need to get together for a podcast soon. And, he's in total agreement. And but like I've said in previous episodes, we've just all kind of been busy with our own things. And, his main priority at this time is looking for a home. And then he's also apparently been doing some woodworking stuff with another friend of his. So that's another hobby of his for all you Noah fans out there.
He's always got a project.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's hard to believe that he sometimes sits on his ass and does nothing,
Amy just said, I don't believe it.
What, that he has a bunch of projects, or that he
sits on his ass and does nothing? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She says she believes it because Steve said it, but it's still hard to believe.
I wouldn't lie about that, Amy. Well, at least not intentionally.
WhirlyBall! WhirlyBall!
Man, I had this fun thing I was going to do. I was going to play this music, and I was going to talk about Michigan playing on Sunday and how Seattle was playing on Monday, and it just felt like WhirlyBall was coming back to the world. And,
Yeah.
and everything might just be okay after all.
Yeah.
Maybe some other time.
I know. Just this week has just been kind of somewhat lethargic for me. I mean, probably the most high volume, enthusiastic thing I've done is play WhirlyBall on Monday. And it's funny, I act like, it's been a long week, but really it's only, today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, I know. I actually have to think about that. It's just, time has been going really slow this week, so. But no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely. It was cool to see you guys play Sunday. Just as cool to see us, I'm sure, playing Monday.
Oh, that was a surprise. I was surprised.
Yeah. Like I said, I wasn't expecting it. I was, I mean, there was the chance, but like I said, if I would have known like Sunday, or even like first thing Monday that was going down, I think we would have been just a little bit more prepared as far as streaming and announcing that we were going to play. Because it had been known for a little while that you guys were going to get together, and we all knew that you would be streaming, so people could definitely tune in.
We all
or
knew
new to
that.
tune in. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because I almost didn't. I was so tired. I had to pack up my stuff the night before. I told myself I gotta pack up my stuff the night before, or I'm not gonna. And then I didn't. So when I woke up in the morning, like, man, I don't want to do this. I just grabbed my cameras and then grabbed a streaming device, and I was like, man, I'm halfway there already. I might as well just do it.
Yeah.
But definitely did not take any of the studio equipment. No ATEM mini switching going on. That was too much. But realistically, that would have been pretty easy to do, because all I would have done is just unhooked this one and then left everything that's plugged into this one alone. So then, I just have a few things to plug back into this one. This one, of course, is the one that I use to control what you guys see. Oops, wrong button.
Well, shit, I wouldn't have blamed you if you had opted not to do any streaming. I mean, considering how long it's been since you guys played, I would have totally understood if you had just wanted to, focus on, catching up with the guys at the center,
Right.
and just overall playing, not having to worry about whether the stream was going and, any sort of entertainment value. It would,
Just
Right.
lean the phone on the window.
Right.
Yeah.
No, the stream ran just fine, and it was unattended. It didn't have to be, monitored. It was pretty much good to go. I did do a backup recording just in case something went weird, because if there's a blip in the internet or something and there's lag, I can't do anything about that, or would I even know if it was there?
Yeah.
Unless somebody was watching. But when I record on the GoPro on the backup, it doesn't matter, because the GoPro will just record. There won't be any lag. Yeah. I
Where
would like
is
to.
everyone this evening?
I don't know. I have to question whether Bill's going to be on tonight. It's almost 10.
Well, he's been going at it, every week and preparing the trivias for 3 or 4 weeks straight. So
Oh, yeah. He just
if anyone
chimed in.
deserves a break, it's definitely Bill. I understand if you want to take
Yeah.
a week off.
He's definitely taking tonight off. So it's going to miss tonight, but I'll see you all next week.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. No worries, Bill.
So it'll be a chill night. I actually am not drinking tonight either, because my local liquor store was closed by the time I got out of the tattoo shop tonight. They're only open till 9 o'clock or something on a weekday. What the heck?
Yeah, I'm back on keto, so I'm not drinking either, but for not as fun of reasons.
Trying to watch your carb intake.
Yeah, I mean, I COVID has, like so many other people, has added I've gained the weight back during COVID, so.
Got my COVID weight.
Yeah, the COVID weight, so I need to, lose it again. The hospital I work at, we have a gym, but obviously when COVID hit, that was one of the first things to shut down. And from what I hear, I don't think they have any plans to reopen it anytime soon for employee use, because it's the gym that they use for patients for physical therapy and so on. So I don't know if they're ever gonna, allow it for employee use again or not. So once that happened, it just, took away, the equipment that I usually used on a daily basis. And so it kind of just went downhill from there a little bit, but I'm forcing myself to run outside, even though I hate the damn cold, but you got to do what you got to do.
Indeed.
And that's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that.
That's good, man. You said it all. Good, man.
You
it all.
said more than you should have, Steve. You said more than you should have.
That's fine. Gave me time to.
You said more than you should have.
Now I'm gonna watch this Michigan WhirlyBall stream because I have no life.
All right.
Yeah, you can see how terrible they all were. Actually, to be fair, I didn't watch enough of it to get an opinion on anything. I think I watched about 2 minutes of it and hopped off. But really, like I said, it was just good to see the people out there on the court. So. Mr. Bowen, how did you like playing on Monday?
Good.
Yeah. Man of few words. I like it.
That was, it kind of reminded me of the last time. I was forcing my shot and missed every shot I took.
Well, it was funny because you were telling you're like, I just want to be able to go up and shoot once, because I think we had you unintentionally playing defense the majority of it, but
yeah.
But
They think you're Mark?
yeah, Mark actually,
That's cram play. He's the defender. Or so I've heard.
I mean, you'll find out come the next stream, if he comes next Monday. Yeah. Apparently one of his coworkers had to go in for a COVID test that day, so he didn't want to come. He didn't want to come just out of courtesy and precaution. So that was nice of him.
For sure.
Doc, did you guys play this past weekend?
So we played 2 weekends ago. So not this past Sunday, the Sunday before.
Gotcha. I thought you guys are maybe you had said this last week, but you guys are playing weekly, right? Or I guess before COVID you were playing weekly, right? Is that right?
Yeah, so in a normal year we're playing weekly. Since probably October we've been playing monthly.
Gotcha.
And it just kind of depends. Like I haven't even looked at court time for this month, because what ends up happening is whoever organizes it ends up paying a good chunk of the money, because we don't have quite enough people to make it even. Like even if we get 10 to 12 people, we're still a little short. So I can't really kind of front that kind of money this month. So I'm kind of waiting and seeing if somebody else wants to take the reins of that.
Yeah, just do what we did, 4-on-4.
Oh, the people playing is not the issue. It's paying for the court.
Oh, paying for the court. Okay.
Yeah, because the court time, we played for 2 hours. So it's like $400.
Woo.
And so it just kind of depends on how many people show. And people chip in more than, like, we try to just charge $20, and some people chip in more so that to kind of help offset some costs. But I think even with people helping, I think I still dropped like $150 from the court time.
Oh, out of your own pocket?
Yeah.
Damn.
which
Well,
I don't
that's
mind. I don't mind doing that. I just can't do that all the time.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
But we'll see. I may in a couple weeks kind of gauge people's interest. Be like, all right, what do you want to do?
I know we were actually talking about maybe even renting, officially renting out court time on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, we want to play for, I don't know, a solid, 2 to 3 hours, however long. And plus, we know that, the business could use it. Let's face it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of the big thing for us. Just whatever we can to help the center until things can improve, or even I think there's some.
And that's mostly at Snowy Center, right?
Yeah, for them. Yeah, I don't know how he and Gary divide things out, but I think for the most part, I want to say Hearst is his, and then they split off Plano. Something like that.
Yeah, that's interesting because Hearst and the Plano Center aren't too far from each other, right?
Yeah, probably about 40, 45 minutes from each other.
Oh, okay. So enough to not really siphon, business from one another. You have to worry about, fighting over client, or parties or anything, right?
Yeah, no, nothing like that.
That's good.
All right, early analysis. Doug can still shoot.
You're watching the games?
Yeah, watching on my big screen. Still can't quite tell who's all playing, but
Yeah, I'll get some high def cameras here soon.
I mean, I'm sitting across the room too. That, and if it's if you had some people from Michigan that I don't know either, it'd be hard for me to figure. For the most part, I have a
Plus we're all
general
wearing
idea.
masks.
Yeah, that makes it a little harder too.
But yeah, there's David Bernard's out there. You got BJ's there. Dan Serlin's there. I'm out there sometimes. Doug, Timmy. Who else? Well, Clint. I already said all the A players earlier. Clint.
Gotta
Sammy.
block Timmy all the time. Every time you play, and you gotta let him. You gotta talk a little trash with it. So, assuming we get to play at Nationals, it'll just be more of the same. It'll just feel like all he does is get blocked all the time.
I feel like we didn't encounter each other that much. Like we were either on the same team or we were alternating. I was reffing games that he was playing and stuff. I didn't go toe to toe with Tim that much. But there's probably at least one game. I didn't block anybody. I almost said yesterday on Sunday. I didn't block anybody.
I blocked Raph on Monday. That was cool.
Yeah.
I blocked Noah once.
Blocking something that never really goes away from me. We could not play for like 3 months, and I could just do that.
Yeah, says the guy that's 11 feet tall.
Okay.
In case you haven't noticed, Steve and I are about the same size as you together. Whoops, that's not good. If Steve got on my shoulders, we'd be as tall as you. Oh, hey, my raccoon's back.
Yeah. My two angry cats are messing with each other.
Hey, baby. New batch available.
So I can identify Clint is playing in blue jeans. I can't do that. Yep. Shorts or nothing. Ooh, nice shot. Clint did like the equivalent of like a hook shot.
Like, are you talking like straight up and just kind of like a straight on hook, or are you talking like a backhand?
It was more of a hook. He kind of put his shoulder back behind his head and.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so,
yeah, kind of like a lob hook. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was side to side, and he just moved.
Okay.
He just moved and just hooked it over. That's pretty neat looking.
Was that the one where he was coming in hot, like real fast?
Yeah.
Clint's an interesting shot because from relatively far out, he's got a nice lob, but when he's within like 3 welds or fewer, it's a pretty pretty hard, powerful shot that he has.
Yeah. Yeah. I've only seen that once. I played a pickup game once with him, and yeah, he's pretty intense out there.
Yeah, I've played with him a number of times, and if you're not on the same page, or you're not doing exactly what he wants you to do or he thinks you should be doing, he doesn't necessarily like get upset with you, but just kind of his body language, you can definitely tell like he's irritated, or that he's frustrated. So that's why like I said, I like playing with him, but at the same time, it's kind of like, you gotta, maybe it's just, my experience. Obviously, A players would be able to speak more to this, but I don't know. I feel like the communication, at least with me, just hasn't been, exactly there when I have played with him. So. But I mean, you played with him more than I have, Gus. I mean, what do you think?
Who are we talking about?
Clint?
Yeah, I mean, I've played against him and with him in practice many times. It's fun to play against him because he'll I don't know. He'll give you pointers, but then he'll really test you sometimes and really try to school you, and he'll always let you know, hey, you did a good job, So
yeah,
I mean, as far as
I will give him that though. I mean, not that I'm trying to take anything away, but I mean, he definitely gives you positive reinforcement, and I've gone on record saying that he is definitely one of the reasons why I continue to play, particularly on a national level, just because of him coming up to me and asking like, hey, how's it going? You having a good time? People treating you okay? And, just
checking in on you.
He's probably one of the best people at making you feel welcome to the community.
Yeah, he'll usually come check on everybody. You doing good? You playing? You having a good time? You doing all right? Yeah. But Clint's like everybody else. When he's on, he's on. When he's off, you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I don't know.
Well, like I said, my experience has just been like, pickups and just fucking around, and I don't think we've played on like a invite team before, but yeah.
Yeah, I never played with Clint in a formal sense. I've always played against him when it comes to invites. I don't recall ever being on his team.
It's a new sound for the Zoom call.
Oh, yeah. Washing the old hands, gotta kill all the germs.
I'm glad it was that. I thought
Yeah.
you were taking a piss.
He's like, I
Oh no, this is what it sounds like when I piss.
Good Lord.
All right, well, we have video evidence. George scored a bucket.
Oh, you mean he wasn't on defense? Well,
He played. I mean, he went up and shot a couple times. I mean, a lot. I didn't actually see him playing his typical defensive anchor position. I don't think he wanted to be in that spot for practice. Nor should he have to. I, on the other hand, had a hard time going up. I was always staying back. Anytime you see me out there, I'm like watching defense. Like nobody else is watching defense.
See, that's what usually gets me in trouble. It's like I want to go up, but everybody else wants to go too. So I'm like, that old damn playing responsible whirlyball thing here. I can't go.
you know what though? At some point, you just gotta say fuck it and go up. And then if people get on your case, it's like, you know what? It's like I fucking pay the same amount of money that you do, and I want to get better at my offense. And if you guys don't give me the opportunity, well, fuck you guys. They especially, in Seattle where we preach, not having established positions. We want everyone to be able to do a transition and rotate in and out of everything, right? Well, if that's the case, then people have got to be able to go up and shoot. People got to have that confidence. And, for you guys, if, the expectation is, they're a defensive player, then, yeah, you're always going to be a defensive player. But I think that's BS, not only in terms of competing, at a high, being high competitive level, but just their overall fun factor. Doc and Gus, you guys should be able to go up and shoot, and you guys should be able to be the offensive heroes at some point. I mean,
someday.
Why the fuck not?
I've been an offensive hero once.
Tell us about that.
It was back in the early league days. We beat the Nerf Herders beat JWA in tournament. It was a buzzer beater. I got the ball. I was at the 3-point line and got the ball with about 5 seconds left. I looked up at the clock and I fired it. And most of the league players thought I was some chump that would never make that shot. So they're like, yeah, let him shoot. And then I sunk it and the whole room went nuts. And when I left the court, it was like I couldn't see. I was getting like a barrage of hand pats coming at me. And I remember people like Kalen Willis and all the other at that time C-level players. Like Kalen was a C-level player once. But all the national players that I would eventually look up to and learn things from, they were there that night because that was the league thing back then. People actually went to Tuesday night advanced leagues. But yeah, making that 3-point in front of everybody was like, woo! We stopped that team. We took that. We eliminated that team with that one shot. I took them out with that shot, and that was Dan Serlin's original league team, JWA. Good
That's
stuff.
awesome. That's always a good feeling to be able to, secure a win for your team.
Yeah.
I think secretly one of my goals at nationals is to just have one of those games where, you have a game-winning shot. I mean, it'd be cool for seeding, but obviously it'd be even better for, a tournament game.
Yeah.
So I think one day that'll be my, I don't know, can that really be a goal per se? Or just more, I mean, because you can't really plan for it.
Right. No. It's a hope. It's a secret hope.
Yeah. What is your one WhirlyBall wish, I guess? To secure a tournament win with a last-second shot.
I've never won at nationals with a shot. I've won leagues with a shot, or in a week kind of deal. But I did have in Atlanta. We had a game where I believe we were ahead by 2 with about 45 seconds to go, and they passed me the ball. I was on the right side because I showed it to some friends when I got back, and I count the clock down, and I was pretty far out. I was inside the 3-point line, but I was definitely out there, and we ran the clock down to 38 seconds, and then I took that long shot and nailed it to go up by 4. And they got the ball, and they got a shot off, a 3-pointer off, but it was under 30 seconds. And so we won by 1. So that was pretty good.
That's all it takes is 1 point.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah, I think probably one of the best last point shots that I've ever seen. I think it's been discussed a handful of times on here was Red from Texas. He had that last second shot. It was who was it? It was
was that in Novi?
It was 2. No, that was in it was in Novi. Yep. And yeah, it was 2 Texas teams. It was like Tanner's team versus Ian and Red, and I can't remember the exact makeup, but Tanner's team had Justin from Michigan.
Yeah,
and they had to win. They had to win. All they had to do was throw the ball in the corner, and instead Justin just kind of lobs it, and Red was in the vicinity, and he was able to pick it up and just launch it at the last second. And it's funny if you go and I can't remember. I don't know if it was your stream or not, Gus, but somebody recorded it.
Yeah, somebody recorded. That was before I was really good at recording.
Yeah. It might be Nico's stream.
Yeah, but anyways, you hear Derek and Frank actually doing a little commentary at the end, and
right.
Frank actually kind of calls it out perfectly. He's like, well, they're going to have, a 5-second differential. Let's see what he does with it. And then, like I said, Red just kind of picks it up and launches it. And it's funny because he had not been doing jack shit that whole game. He had been like bricking shot after shot. And then he just kind of came through when it mattered. And then just the utter just like disbelief from like Tanner's team. It was crazy. And, but I can tell you the one thing that Justin never did again, he learned to roll it in the opposite corner, away from the opposition. So, and that's the good thing about, it sucks to be if you're one of those players on that team, you obviously you learn the lesson. That's a good thing. But more so for us, if you're able to view it from somebody who has recorded it, that is, super invaluable. Because it was because of that I learned, about dumping the ball in the correct corner, when you need to, and the whole Timmy from Atlanta fiasco. back in Atlanta, if you guys recall that, that taught me the importance of looking at the clock and not looking at the time, looking at the exact score, knowing what the play is, knowing the situation, rather than just, kind of getting caught up in the moment, kind of like he did. And not to say, everybody's done that, right? But like I said, the point being is like, that's what I love watching film for. It's because you get those rare, yet important learning moments.
What's neat about YouTube is you can slow it down. You ever slow down footage through YouTube? It's kind of neat. You can choose speed it up if you want. If you want to watch a game, but you don't have time, put it on 2x speed.
I never have slowed it down or sped it up, but I do a lot of rewind.
Yeah.
Because I find myself kind of scratching my head and being like, oh, what the hell happened there?
What happened on that one?
Yeah, what happened on that play?
Where did it break down?
But yeah, I mean, and then I'll pause it and I'll kind of like look at, scoop position and car position and just kind of like try and, make that, include that in part of my game for the next time, just make a mental note.
Yeah.
But it's even hard to do that sometimes because there's a lot of factors, or maybe not a lot, but a handful of factors, that, weight being one of them, Most people at WhirlyBall are quite a bit heavier than I am, so it's hard to be able to, push them around and stuff. Although, if you're from out of Seattle, most people are going to tell you, oh, well, that's not going to matter because you have, this light-ass guy who's in this particular car pushing me under the backboard. Right, Doc?
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes no sense in Seattle. It should never happen.
Yeah. But when you got, a Seattle versus Seattle and you can either drive the cars somewhat equally or they're that much better than you, then ultimately it kind of, doesn't matter for, that person. But yeah. Was it David you said to me on Monday, get better at playing goalie?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. When I told you, like, if
it's not about your driving, it's about your height against some players. I get it.
No, I mean, it's both, Yeah, I'm not I'll be the first to admit, like, I'm not a fantastic driver by any means. And if, my driving improved, then,
Yeah.
But I don't think it would elevate my game, significantly. But, every little bit helps.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying you need to be back, you shouldn't be back there being goalie because, unless you're guarding somebody that's, height proportionate to you. But, at the same time, you don't want to be in a position where if you are back there, that they're just driving around you or pushing you around. I mean, it's kind of a 50-50,
Well, absolutely. That's where mismatch recognition is really important, right? And that, I guess, that is a flaw or a disadvantage to the Seattle philosophy of transition. Is if it's apparent that I'm gonna have to transition in the goalie, and that happens way too often, then are your teammates, are they going to recognize this, as often as they should and make the adjustment?
Right.
And that's, I've experienced, my 2019 team, we did a phenomenal job at making sure that I wasn't goalie,
right.
But then, yeah, I mean, We just need to make sure,
even that little stretch, we were pretty. That game was pretty. That second game was pretty close. And we had that little stretch where Noah and Roth just tore us up. But
yeah,
everybody else kept going up on offense, and it's like, no, we need to fix what's going on here because neither one of us was in a good position to hold Noah. I'm not going to sit here and say I can guard Noah because he has that high shot, but I can at least make it difficult for him to take a shot, unless he's in so deep that he just has to just lob over the top of me, which is what was happening. And we couldn't get him out. And every time we started to get him out, they're taking a shot, and here comes Raph and just, basically making a layup because we got it, They needed to help us just one time get in good position where we could, reestablish a decent defense. And that wasn't happening. And, they went on about a 7, 8 possessions in a row where they scored. Next thing you know, we're down by 14. And that was the game because we couldn't come back. But
well, that's the frustrating thing about playing like mixed, just kind of pickup style games.
Yeah.
So typically what happens, if, I'm goalie, or if we have like, somewhat, that's not super tall, like you and me, that's perfect example.
Yeah.
A lot of the times we're matched up against somebody one-on-one who we can't hold our own, right? And so then what do? You got to keep two people back, but you don't want to keep them aside. What I always tell everyone is you got to sandwich them, sandwich them so they can't get position on you to cherry pick, and dunk over you all day, right?
Right.
The problem with a lot of your teammates, though, is that we're so used to setting a high wall, right?
Right.
And they're not paying attention a lot of the time what's going on in the back end. And so, by the time they recognize, our rover isn't coming up to set the wall with us, somebody's already, shot through for, to pick them off for a potential 3-on-2. So.
Well, the other problem we had in that particular game is I don't know why Brad made those teams the way they were, but I mean, the three tallest people on the court are Joe, Noah, who was the other person on their team?
Was it Bailey?
Bailey.
Brandon White, or
Brandon White. Those are maybe Brad, but Brandon White. But when you put Joe and Noah on the same team, and then you've got you, me, Jay. Who was our fifth besides Brad Elke?
Dustin, or was he on the other team?
I
think what goes.
Short team against a tall team, and the short team ends up.
I think more so than height. I think what Brad tries to do more often than not is make the teams balance offensively.
Right.
Because you can have a tall team, but if you have no shooters,
right,
if they can't score worth a squat, then it's kind of pointless. It's like they're just they're just going to score from 4 welds or beyond. It doesn't matter how tall you are at that point, right?
Right.
So,
but if you switch Jay with Joe or Noah, either way, then you have two teams that are height proportionate equal to each other, but you also have two teams that are have pretty equal shooters. But I mean, like I say, Noah comes down there, and if I can hold him at the top of the key, I don't feel I'm not totally uncomfortable guarding Noah at that point. But once he pushed me back where I was underneath and I was stuck there and nobody came to help me get him back pushed away, that's where I'm not, because then he can just shoot over me too easy that way. But that's all good.
Well, when you're playing up against defending against a Noah or someone alike, do you feel more often than not that the people that you're playing with regularly, I won't say like the pickup like last night, but like leagues, do you feel that your team more often than not recognizes that you're in a precarious position and will help you out? Or do you feel that more often than not, they're leaving you at a disadvantage?
I think people at my level, I don't feel as disadvantaged because one, there's not as many tall people at our, not Noah's height at sea. And those that are still pretty new. So I can always, and then the people passing them the ball aren't as good. I mean, I'll drive around and front them and leave them under the basket. And more often than not, they can't make the pass down off the wall to get them the ball to score, So, it is a level of driving and a level of skill. Like I say, Noah's a little different than, he's Noah, Joe, Nate Kiefer. Those are guys, other Nate too, Nathan Dahl. Those are guys that I have more trouble with because they're so much taller than me.
Yeah.
If like I say, if I'm pushed under the basket at all, I don't feel like I can stop them. Whereas, if you have me pushed under the basket, I still feel like I'm tall enough that I can keep you from scoring easily.
Yeah. You're like deceptively like you've got like a longer wingspan than I do. So
yeah.
I can't shoot over you, even if I'm like nose to nose.
Right. No, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean,
but okay, so short answer of that is you don't feel like there's somebody that will float on you, in during leagues who that, kind of, gives you fits.
There's no one currently in our leagues that I feel like if they float on me, that I'm at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Unless I'm left in a bad position. And even then, I'm talking about a really bad position.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah, we all get, out of position every now and then, but I'm just talking about like consistently eat your lunch.
There's no one at sea that I feel like I can't guard under the basket as a goalie, even if they're taller than me, in Seattle. Now, actually, I don't think there's many players in C at all, and
that was gonna be my next question. Is there anyone in C outside of Seattle who would you think that you would have troubles against one-on-one?
Hold on, I got the dog out. No. Who was the super tall guy in Seattle? I want to say I think he was from Cleveland. Maybe he was from. There was one guy that's super tall.
Jared?
I don't know his name.
Jared Dobies? Is he like super thin?
Yes.
Well, he was in B though, when Seattle.
No.
So
somebody this very last year in Seattle. Is there a Texas guy that's thin and really tall? Alex?
In C?
Probably your closest thing to that is he's not crazy tall like me, but he's above average height. Zach.
Yeah, it might have been Zach.
He had about a day and a half where he was dominating everybody playing.
Yeah,
there was one guy that's got super long arms, and he doesn't normally come up and float, but he did. And both Brandon Stewart and I struggled a little bit against him because he's just so much taller than I am and Brandon is. Other than that, no. I mean, I'll go one-on-one with anybody, and I'll feel, I'm going to do the best I can, and I feel like I'm going to win more than I'm going to lose. But that's just like I say, some of that might be my ego, and some of that might be realistic.
See, when I'm playing goalie, I have no ego. I mean, my expectations aren't really high. So I should say my expectations is if my team sees that I'm at goalie, they should be like, "Oh fuck, we need to fix this."
Well, my expectation is that I'm gonna stop you more often than you're gonna, you're gonna score less than I'm gonna succeed more than you're gonna succeed.
Well, and some people may say like, oh well, that's a poor way of looking at it, Steve. You know, you need to, improve your game and get better and become a better goalie and stuff. And I mean, there's some merit to that, but like I've said in the past, it's, going on over 15 years of playing, if it hasn't like improved by now, it probably won't be. So, the team has to, like I said, recognize the mismatch and just, and come to terms with reality. It's like, I can't be back there. It's a disadvantage to the team when that happens.
Well, even the first game we played, Steve, I mean, I was like I say, I didn't even take a shot the whole first game. I didn't play too much offense, so I was obviously back in goal a lot, and they weren't scoring on me so much that somebody felt like they had to come back and be the goalie instead of me. That's so. Now, how much of that is people being rusty? It's a lot easier to be rusty at goalie than it is to be rusty at offense.
Oh, I think that there were plenty of rusty people. I was rewatching the footage that I did manage to record, and yeah, there were definitely a lot of over the backboards and a lot of bobbled, passes and catches and stuff. But
how much of that was the first game versus like the second and then getting into the third?
Oh, yeah, it was definitely more the first game that I saw. Second game, there's a fair amount. But yeah, by the third game, I mean, there was still a handful, but definitely not as much. I think,
I don't think
games in, you get the rust off.
Yep. Oh. Well, that's like after I left, I was thinking about my shooting because I did, I started to dial in a little bit. I got a couple off the ring restrictors, but I think, the biggest thing for me with my shooting, and I did the same thing last time, is I wanted to shoot, I don't shoot well when I think about my shot. If I think like, okay, I'm going to take this shot, I'm open, I'm not a good shooter like that. I have to be just in the flow of the game, like just see my shot and shoot. And when I'm playing against the A players and the B players, I'm like, okay, even coming up on the 3-pointers at the end of the game, I wasn't just coming up and shooting, naturally. I was coming up like, okay, I'm gonna, like bouncing my shoulders. I don't do that normally when in a game, I just shoot. And I think that, threw me off a little bit, which is why I didn't shoot. Well, I was 0 for. So it'd be better.
Just
go out on the practice board a little more.
Yeah, I did not shoot well either on Monday. It was, I mean, is there such a thing as not, shooting? If you miss more often than you make them, is that if you're hitting the backboard, does that mean that you're not terrible? I don't know. It just, I'll just say that it was not good. I did not feel accomplished, but yeah, I think I'm kind of in the same boat that you were. It just, I was caught up in the moment of just being able to play again and see everybody and just driving the car and just, trying to figure it out. Which, I mean, that's for everybody. I mean, it happened with the Michigan guys on last Sunday, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It probably happened with, I know it happened with the Texas guys. And
I think for me, not only am I coming back and hey, I'm getting to play, and I'm rusty, but I'm getting to play. But I'm also like in my head, I'm like, hey, I'm playing against Joe and Brad and Jay, and these guys are playing with me or against me, and I want to play well. I want to show them that I'm, can be competitive. And I know you've moved over to court one a little bit more than I have, but anything you do on court one is more than I have. But for you, you play with those guys. You played B. You've played, whereas so you don't really have to necessarily prove yourself as much. They're confident, whereas with me, I feel like I'm trying to prove myself. So I'm That's why I say I'm thinking about things as opposed to just playing the game and having fun.
Well,
So-
I think the thing that kind of helped me when I first went over to the court one is, like you, I was like, had that mindset of like, oh, I can hang with these guys, I need to, prove to them that I can play on their level. But really what helped me out even more was coming to the realization that I'm definitely not as good as these guys. I'm going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
I just want them more than anything to like just call me out on it.
Sure.
And to learn from it, because when that happens, then they're going to recognize, oh, he didn't do the same thing that he did the last game or the last possession.
Right.
And then, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. But I think I would say that the majority of, upper players, I'll be bold and say they like playing with me, or, they don't mind playing with me because they can recognize like, oh, Steve does the right thing the majority of the time. He may not be the most flashy and talented player, but, he can, he's a serviceable, novice player. And, at the end of the day that, I'll take that any day at this point.
WhirlyBall!
Exactly. Whirly ball.
WhirlyBall!
But with that said, gentlemen, I actually have to bounce off early tonight. Got a few things I got to take care of, but just wanted to hop on and, like I said, chat about Monday and this past Sunday with Gus and whoever else was on. And I guess we should be doing, I think, picking up the regular live streaming again if we have regular
Monday nights.
Monday nights again, or whatever, quote unquote normal Monday we have for however long. So, and then, hopefully a new podcast episode soon. I know we keep saying it, but I'm going to continue saying it until it actually comes to fruition, because if I didn't, that would make me a liar. And I'm not about that. I'm a truth sayer. All right.
I look forward to hearing about your next recording through the grapevine when it happens.
I look forward to you next week on my Zoom meeting, Hello WhirlyBall Nation, promising us that you're going to have another episode.
Yes, yes, exactly.
All right, guys. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.
Take it easy, Steve.
Good talking to you, man.
Have a good night, guys. All right, later.
Next Monday.
Yep.
Well, guys, I'm in the same boat. I'm actually kind of falling asleep sitting here, so
Okay.
I haven't been sleeping as well this week. So
I think Gus is falling asleep sitting there too.
I know.
Might be our shortest WhirlyBall meeting ever.
It will be.
well, I'm trying to, for once, on these Wednesdays, not go to bed at like 2 a.m. and then get up at 6 and try to work all day, because it like screws up the rest of my week and into the next week. So
Fair enough.
I'll try to actually go to bed. Like, I'm not even gonna look at my phone. I'm gonna go lay down and just pass out. It's gonna be nice. So, all right, guys. I'll see y'all next week.
Take it easy.
Yeah, later.
And then there was 3 again.
Yeah, back to the original. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty drained. My brain, I don't even know what to think about, let alone talk about.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Hey, if we got to call it an early night tonight, so be it. It's not gonna hurt. I'm actually kind of tired. I stayed up too late last night. I'd go to bed early.
Yeah.
It's only 8:30, so I'll watch an episode of something, and I got DVR'd. I'm in the final season of of uh, uh, Marvel Agents of Shield. I have like 6 more episodes to go before this finale, so I'll pop in one of those on the DVR and call it a night.
Word.
You ain't gonna hurt my feelings.
Yeah, well.
What for tomorrow? Should I call you or message you,
You
or
just
what's
shoot me a message. Yeah, I'm usually. Yeah.
I do it we do it sometime like around 10, 11 your time. Could you set it up so I could have the meeting information to pass on to people? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That way I can post something in my Facebook group and say, hey, okay, here's the information, and I plan on being about, like, say, I'd like to do it. I want to set it up for start my thing about 7:00 my time, so I could even get on 6:30, something like my time. So what you would normally do, and just get me logged in and situated, and then run from there. So that would be awesome. Like I said, I don't want to pay $119.
Yeah. Who would want to?
No one. Zoom would want me to, but
Of course, Zoom. Yeah, Zoom.
anyway. Yeah, I messaged a bunch of people.
I heard you razzing Bailey.
Yeah. I did.
They were like, Gus drinks on the Zoom call.
Yep. It was like, she said something about. She said, I'm always getting your messages. I was like, well, why don't you get on? She's like, well, I have my kids and da da da. And I was like, you can jump on for 15 or 20 minutes. Just say hi. It's like I got on to Dustin. I was like, he's like, I'm at work. I was like, dude, jump on for 10 minutes during a break. Just say hello. Make an appearance.
Hello,
I got to, I was talking to Tony. I was like, you should get on. He's like, oh, da, da, da. Somebody was saying, oh, nobody would understand him. And I was like, Frank would understand him. We get X on there, David Bernard. There's people that speak Spanish that can get on there and, jab with Tony. But I was pushing it.
That's so funny.
Like, just get on one time for a few minutes and and see if you like it or not.
Yeah. Don't knock it till you try it.
That's like, I know John Weber didn't get on. He didn't respond, but he's down in Oregon he got they sent him down there on bus drive.
That's right. Yeah, he's out of town.
He's in Oregon, but he could get on his phone. So I don't know if he took his laptop or not.
Right.
Anyway. Anyway. We call it?
Yeah, probably.
2 hours in? Alright.
That's pretty lame.
Hey.
Why can't you do
Not
it?
every week is going to be a week where Chris Bolte shows up out of nowhere.
It's usually in these moments when somebody strange pops in out of nowhere, like, you guys are leaving. This would be like the James Gill moment. I know he's done that to us once or twice. We're about to sign off.
That one time we logged out, then he messaged me like, "What's going on with the meeting?" So I messaged you, and then he got on, and
we just started up a private Zoom meeting. I just started it back up, right?
Yeah. But it's all good.
It's all good in the hood.
This is true. There too.
No, it's not good in the hood usually. What are you doing with that?
I was working on something earlier. My shower head cracked. I have a handheld shower head, and the hose piece that screws in it had cracked. So I was taking the one off and putting a new one on, and I had those. And so but I was watching TV and I was putting it all together out here in the living room. So I had these here, and then I just set them on top of my little chair here. And I realized they were still sitting there. I got to put them back in my toolbox. But Cooper, you're knocking over my beer bottles. Both root beers. I went all in today. 2 different kinds of root beer.
Oh yeah. I was drunk on sarsaparilla.
Yeah. No, that was when I went to Deadwood, South Dakota.
Oh, nice.
We went out when I went on my big camping trip up through that area with my mom and dad, my niece and my daughter and I. And my mom and dad went to go gamble in the casino. And you know, it's an old West town, and the kids can go in the bars there. They just can't obviously drink. So me and my niece and my daughter, we literally went from saloon to saloon, these old West style saloons, and we moseyed up to the bar and we ordered sarsaparilla, and we were comparing sarsaparillas at different saloons across Deadwood, South Dakota. So if they didn't have sarsaparilla, then we got root beer. But
that sounds
it was
like
a fun
good time.
It was. I shouldn't say a fun day. It was a fun afternoon. We had about 6 different kinds of sarsaparilla.
You think that your stomach would be hating you after a while, after all that?
You know. So anyway,
Sounds like fun.
should we call it?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, Gus. You just look tired, man.
I am super tired. I feel like a wimp, but I'm gonna really like going to bed in about 10 minutes here.
Hey, no problem with that. Take it easy, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.
Take it
tomorrow.
easy. Yeah,
All right.
yeah, tomorrow. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Oh, David.
Bye, David.
Peace.
We're all going
Peace.
to bed.
Good for your coach.
All right.
Alrighty.
Later. Bye.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Right. Well, a little early evening, that's okay. This side of my mustache, my mask today is really messed up the beard, but today's show started off awkward because I thought the show only existed in this square. Because if you look on my screen over here, let's see. That's exactly what I was seeing. Is only like part of the screen. I don't know why. Confused the hell out of me. That's for damn sure. But anyway, yeah. That is the end of tonight's show. I'm gonna put on some music for my outro. It's good to bookend with music. Later on there'll be videos, playlist, videos, subscribe.